Good morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. This is liveweatherblogs.com meteorologist Bob Acanfrio with today's tropical update for Wednesday, September 29, 2010. We continue to watch Tropical Depression 16. Currently, it's located over central Cuba. This was as of 8 a.m. advisory. The maximum sustained wind still 35 miles an hour, movement to the north-northeast at 9. It's about 150 miles south of Marathon Key here in Florida. So we've seen overnight, not getting any better organized, still kind of really, mostly all the convection is and strongest winds are well east of the center here. Nothing really getting around the center, although we've seen this morning maybe a little bit of organization trying to get around the center. It's going to have this little window, and all this is going to be is if it gets a name or not. The effects are going to be the same for extreme southeast Florida and then up through the mid-Atlantic, whether this becomes Nicole or not. But for the sake of it getting a name, it's going to have this little window of opportunity as it moves through the Florida Straits later this morning and early this afternoon. Wind shear is has slacked just a little bit, and we're starting to see maybe some convection start to try to form around the ill-defined center. So it's possible it could get its name Nicole before it does make a landfall here across extreme southeast Florida. Again, it's not going to matter either way whether this gets a name or not because the effects are going to be the same. And then we're going to see this start to increase in forward speed through tonight and then overnight, and then it rapidly accelerate and become extra tropical as it makes another landfall near the South Carolina, North Carolina border. This is pretty accurate, the National Hurricane Center track. I don't see any deviation from this. And again, this will accelerate and then move up towards the through the mid-Atlantic through Thursday and then through Friday. And a lot of rainfall in this area. I'm going to show you all these maps in a minute here. That's going to be the main effect with this system. Rain and even some severe weather possible. First area of severe weather today will be across extreme southeast Florida here. Might get some water spouts, little quick moving weak tornadoes trying to move onshore here with this southeast flow here. So might get some again across extreme southeast Florida today, especially along the coast. And then our other area of severe weather today, with all that tropical moisture and this frontal boundary still draped over this area across eastern North Carolina. And then as the system moves up into this area during the day tomorrow, we can see another round of severe weather in the mid-Atlantic states as well, right to the east of where the center is in this warm sector here. And again, a lot of rainfall. And here's what I was showing you. I just want to show you the shear map real quick. You see a little bit of lighter shear has developed right in this area here across the Florida Straits. So before it really gets tangled up in the front and the stronger south to southwesterly shear hits it, it still has a little opportunity to possibly become a tropical storm today. So we'll be watching for that. And again, here's the satellite views. First one here, this is across Cuba here. Let me stop this one real quick here. There we go. And you can see it's possibly starting some convection, trying to get around the center. The center's right in here, still not very well defined at all, but like I said, it's going to have that little bit of opportunity right in here as it moves through the Florida Straits and then across extreme southeast Florida to possibly become a tropical storm Nicole today. And again, here's the other satellite view, putting some color on it here. And you can see some convection really starting to fire around that possible center here. Again, most of the strongest winds and rain are going to be to the east of this center. Excuse me. So if you could just paint the line right here, and this will be the dividing line between a lot of rain and not much rain for Florida. So again, this is really an event for the Keys and then extreme southeast Florida here as far as wind and rain. Winds might see some gusts along the extreme coast of extreme southeast coast along the beaches, possibly getting close to tropical storm force winds, but winds should stay relatively in that 25 to 30 mile per hour range. Again, maybe some gusts to near 40 along the beaches. And here's the bigger view with the water vapor loop. You can see this upper low right here across the Tennessee Valley, and this is just directing all this tropical moisture up to the north. And like I said, the two areas of concern for some severe weather today, extreme southeast Florida and across eastern North Carolina, as they are still getting hammered with rainfall today. And this will all move up to the mid-Atlantic and then across the northeast as we move into Friday. So I'm going to show you here on the big map here of the NOAA here, National Weather Service here, all the flood watches and warnings. These are all flood watches across New York State, Vermont, New Jersey, New York City, portions of Connecticut, eastern Pennsylvania, and these are all flood warnings here for eastern South Carolina, central and eastern North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, Delaware. All this area has just been getting pounded with rain, and they're going to continue to get pounded with rain as this system moves to the north. Looking at the radars this morning, here's our storm right down here, and you can see this is the wider view. We'll move in a little closer here in a second, but see the rainfall, and you can see this pretty sharp dividing line. This is how it's going to be today for Florida. This heavy rainfall, you can see west coast pretty dry, old lingering frontal boundary right here, firing off some convection here, but it's going to be a fine line. You could probably just draw this line just like this. Possibly we'll try to clip northeast Florida, but boy, it's looking like I don't know if we might, and I live up in this area, we might stay pretty dry today across northeast Florida. It'll be interesting to see if we fill in here, but it's going to be a pretty sharp dividing line between rain and no rain, and then this dividing line is going to go through here. So I think tomorrow for the heaviest amounts of rain, it's probably going to be from about Myrtle Beach to the east. Charleston, you might not get as much rain with this system, especially if it kind of moves a little farther east, if it tracks just like this. So, and then again, you can see if we move up here, look at North Carolina today, especially the central and eastern portion. Just a lot of rain, some heavier convection moving onshore, and this is where we're going to watch for that tornado potential as well today. Moving in a little closer, and here's the kind of ill-defined circulation right in here. This is where the center is, so it's going to move just like this. And again, the heaviest rainfall, from probably about, like you're seeing it right now, from about Marathon Key to the east, and then from about, the Miami area probably up to about Fort Pierce, maybe trying to get up into Melbourne area, but this whole area is going to have the heaviest rain. And you can see as we're closing in, these are these little cells I'm talking about that could spawn a quick little tornado or a little water spout. So we'll be watching for these as they move onshore from the southeast today and then to the east. So we'll be watching some of these little cells here to see if we could get possibly get a little spin up here of a quick tornado or water spout. And here's the this is the estimated rainfall here that the models are putting out for the next 3 days, and you can see 4 to 5 inch rain amounts, and this is just the estimated. Usually these amounts locally will be higher, so especially across the mid-Atlantic here where this is really going to pack its biggest punch, 6 to 8 inches of rain locally, maybe even more right in this area here, and then this will move up into the northeast by Friday. So this whole area, flood watches and warnings, and the winds could even pick up as this becomes extra tropical and tangles up with that front across North Carolina. We could even see some stronger winds, 40, 50 mile per hour gusts here along the mid-Atlantic coast and the northeast over the next few days as well. So definitely the punch for this system is I believe is going to be bigger across the mid-Atlantic than Florida, and we're going to be seeing that definitely. Again, looking at the models, not really. I mean, this is just for the sake of where this is going. The exact line of this storm is not going to really matter much. Most of the winds and rain are going to be to the east of the center, but kind of looking like a move right here across southeast Florida, and then possibly a second landfall if it's still a storm or not, extratropical near Myrtle Beach tomorrow. So anything from that point to the east will be your biggest area of rain and wind. And again, just looking at the models real quickly, this is going to be the GFS model. We'll put it into motion here in a second here. And you can see what it does to our Tropical Depression 16. Moves it right up, again, near that Myrtle Beach area, then across the northeast. And then over the weekend, we're going to have another low pressure possibly try to develop near the Bahamas. That's going to move northeast as we kind of have this ridge now building down. Pretty swift northeast flow here is going to develop across the southeast and Florida over the weekend. So our first big nor'easter too. And you can see the GFS continues to try to pump up storms in the Caribbean and and inject them to the northeast. So that'll be an interesting something to watch for the next couple weeks. And the Euro model, basically the same thing here. As you can see, we're going to put this into motion here. And here's TD number 16 moving up the coast. Tries to develop another system over the weekend, moves that up the coast. And then again, we're still watching more systems trying to develop in the Caribbean over the next 7 to 10 days. And again, one last little model, I always like to show a different model here. This is the UK Met model. And again, showing our TD number 6 riding up the coast here. And then we have that other development over the weekend near the Bahamas, and this could really pump up the northeast flow here across Florida for the weekend to give us a pretty good nor'easter as this high pressure kind of builds strong to our north here. Actually, some fall-like weather building into the southeast, so our hot summer is finally going to be over with, which is a really nice change for us. And again, the bigger picture here is you can see all the moisture associated with Tropical Depression 16, and all this is going to move right up into the mid-Atlantic and northeast over the next couple days. Another area we're watching here, not very organized, but again, this could just add fuel to the fire as it moves into the Caribbean during the week, and we'll just add some spark to what's ever sitting down in here. And that's about it for the tropics right now as far as areas to watch for. So that's it. That's my tropical update today. Stay tuned to liveweatherblogs.com for your latest weather information, and I will have another tropical update either later this evening or tomorrow morning. Have a good day. Bye-bye.